Everyone, the start of spring training has arrived, so it's not quite time to start filling out your all-star ballot just yet, but the topic of who the best player in baseball is always a fun one. Steve, there's a list out today of the top 200 players in the game. We could probably agree for once, even though we don't often agree on much, that Mike Trout is the best player in the game.
I'll give you that.
If you take him out of the equation, who is the best player in baseball right now for your money?
Well, if I had to pick one guy, talent, you'd probably have to go with Clayton Kershaw. Best pitcher of the game, all-around pitcher. Probably your best bet. I don't care what he did in October last 2 years. Probably your best bet if you have to win one game. However, the state of the game right now, pitching being what it is, pitching being very plentiful, impact hitters almost impossible to find. He's not the guy I would go with number 2 after Trout. I would go with a guy like Andrew McCutchen, probably. McCutchen can impact a game in so many more ways than Kershaw can. He can impact a game in many more ways than someone like Giancarlo Stanton can. Home runs, great, but McCutchen can play defense. McCutchen can run the bases. He's my number 2 guy. He's like Trout Jr. to me.
Well, I'm going to take Stanton, actually, because I do think that he can play defense and run the bases. Maybe not at a McCutchen-type level, but being a couple years younger, I think there's still room for him to grow. There's obviously a huge caveat with him, which is how does he respond in his first at-bat after getting half his face broken off by
He already got hit by a pitch in spring training. He's okay. He's brave.
This is a guy they're going to pay $325 million to, so I think the Marlins are betting on the fact that he's going to remain a pretty good player. And the fact that he has such upside in an area that is of such demand in baseball right now, which is power, and specifically right-handed power, which is something that we've talked about in years past. There just isn't enough of that going around in Major League Baseball right now for every team to have it. So if you're the team that has it, you know, that's a huge benefit. Stanton, I think, can hit 300 just like McCutchen, but he might do so with 40 home runs. McCutchen might hit 25 or 30, which is perfectly fine, but I think you'd probably agree that either one of those guys is going to be a perennial all-star for years to come.
And we know he looks great in body paint, which is really all that matters.
Exactly.
Game start this week, Ted. Spring training's finally underway for real. The debate over who the best player is and many others will be settled very soon. For Ted Keith, I'm Steve Cannella for SI.com.